A little more time than anticipated at the baby shower, but that's alright. We are sphere hunting once again. And remember, I set myself back to the levels I was when I entered to avoid all that progress towards the level cap without finding what I was looking for. If I don't get it within 2 hours, move to a different game or off-screen it. That's a pretty good call. I was considering what I would play in the event I decided to do something else, too. I was looking at my backlog, and nothing was really appealing. So, maybe we go ahead and do something new. I know that's a risky thing to say with a backlog that big, but... Also, hi DBZ. Welcome back. Good to have you as always. I guess we could do Unreal. That's on the list, and I would enjoy that tonight. I also kind of wanted to do Deus Ex, like we were talking about, but Tiff really wants to tune in when I play that, because I've told her some things about the game, and she wants to see it, but she has to work tonight, and she can't pay attention, so I don't think I'm going to put Deus Ex on the menu until Tiff's able to watch, because she's interested. And if your wife is actually interested in one of the games you want to play, you don't want to squander that. You want to make sure she gets to see it, so. She can watch the YouTube playthrough. It's so much better live. With me reading all the flavor text? Come on. Well. One hyper-spinning robo's not going to break me. Hi, Infinomora. Hi, Warellis. The baby shower was very charming. I had some very delicious tea. I realize that I am still far too immature to have children. But I was excited about onesies and baby wipes, and I was like, no thanks. Did the baby get clean? I don't know, the baby is still inside its mom for another theoretically 6 weeks, so I don't know if you call that clean or dirty. His mom, it's a boy. Shouldn't call the baby an it. He already has a name and everything. I'm like, it. The spawn. The hatchling. Well, I guess we're not getting that one. We can maybe get that one. Very good. No, they very specifically requested gender-neutral items, despite knowing that it was a boy. So, lots of grays and whites and tasteful onesies. Uh-oh. Well, at least it was a black swirl. I do still love the music in this game. Dang. Fire beta kinda hurt. I'd actually heard that before, DBZ. Alright, I'm with DBZ. If we don't find the antenna within 2 hours, that'll be 7 p.m. my time. We're going to say, fuck this shit, throw up our hands and play something else. I'm not entirely sure what else. But something. Funny how they switch places like that, isn't it? Wouldn't mind some Diablo. Wouldn't mind switching to Diablo now. We'll have to start new characters anyway since the Hellfire expansion released. And that might be good anyway. If you're so far above the enemy's level that you winning is a foregone conclusion, the game just lets you automatically win the battle while skipping it, more or less. That's why I waited to farm until after I beat the Sanctuary boss, because then the enemies run away from me, and with these uncontrollable spheres, if you get into battle with them, they always explode into bits and do a bunch of damage to you. But if you activate, that feature with the automatic win, then you don't have to fight them, and you don't take that damage. And you can get that if you get that green swirl that's easy to get when they run away from you. So that's kind of what we're targeting as we hunt for this item. Hell, you guys want to just say fuck this and play Diablo now? We'll give it 5 more tries. How about that? Just like we did last time. 4. Yeah, Diablo sounds fun. Much more fun than this. I might even off-screen the, I might decide to off-screen the item hunts. I know, but I'm excited about it, because now, when we switch over, because let's be real, it's about to happen, we have 6 characters to play through the game with. And the neat thing about Hellfire is you can actually access all the difficulty levels in single player. And it's a lot easier to get to level 50 if you're in single player, so... Alright, 3 more tries. Three more tries. This will make it 2. Tiff leveled up. Don't care. I mean, ordinarily I would, but we have so much more of this item hunting to do. Like, everyone is definitely going to hit level 99. Alright. 1 more try after this. And we're just going to switch to Diablo. So, what class do you guys want me to... Well, hold on. I need to... There's a little tweak I'll need to do first. I'll need to change the stream title too. Assuming we don't get the broken antenna on the next uncontrollable sphere I fight. which would mandate us moving on to the Lost Underworld. I don't think it's going to happen, but I suppose I don't know. This could be the one. They all could be, but he won't be. He's not. All right. Let's bag this. Let me change the stream title. There's got to be a way to do it without having to... There has to be a way to do it without actually ending the stream, doesn't there? Let me look it up right quick. Okay. Here, we can edit without stopping. What class do you guys want to play? There are 6 options, and we actually have to do a little tweaking to unlock all 6, but that's okay. Let me show you how to do it. So we need to, the display capture is running, right? Because I want to show you how to do this. So if we go to my D drive where my GOG games are stored, we can go to Diablo 1. And in here, in Hellfire, where is command.txt? Is that... somewhere, it's got to be somewhere in here. All right, maybe I just need to create the file myself. Let me see if that works. Sorry, I just need a minute. I want to go to the GOG website for Diablo Hellfire. Go to the forum discussion. Okay, yeah, I can just create it myself. So okay, here's how we do it. Sorry guys. It's taking me a little bit, but we need to open Notepad and we need to place the following strings in it. In order to unlock everything,
Matryoshka is a doll.
Well, open it and there's another one.
The string would be this: Cow Quest, Theo Quest, Bard Test, and Barbarian Test. Those are the ones I care about. Oh, except there's no spacing. So that unlocks the 2 hidden quests and the 2 hidden character classes. Now we save this text file in our Hellfire directory. I know it's complicated, but it's not that bad. Diablo 1, Diablo, Hellfire. We save it as command.txt. And now, when I fire up Hellfire, we should have access to all 6 classes. We should. Let's see. Sierra presents synergistic software production. So Hellfire is a non-canon expansion to Diablo 1. But it's cool because it has a lot of quality of life improvements. The biggest being... So I'll tell you what it adds. It adds a bunch of new enemies. It adds 8 new levels, 4 called the Hive and 4 called the Crypt. It adds a few new quests. It adds some significant quality of life improvements in town and in the main game. It adds some items called runes. It adds some items called oils. It adds, it expands Griswold's inventory from 6 magic items to 15. It lets you run while you're in town. And the biggest thing of all is it gives you 3 new character classes. So we can tweak the volume once we get into the game. But I need to know what class you guys want to see first. I think we're all familiar with the Warrior, Rogue, and Sorcerer, the original 3. The Monk uses his base weapon is staff, and like his big deal is that he actually does better to a certain extent without armor, and he's also, as long as he's using a combat staff, he can attack 3 squares in front of him at once instead of just 1, which is a pretty cool feature. The Bard can dual wield melee weapons, which is kind of neat, and get the bonuses from both. That's her shtick. The Barbarian has no magic at all, but his two big advantages are he has some natural resistances. He gains a point into resist all for every level, so he can get like to a baseline resist all 50, which is pretty great when he's at the level cap. And he's also able to use axes with one hand instead of two. So what do you guys want to see? PD, that's main project. This is kind of a one-off. Monk, Rogue, or Bard. And we're eventually going to do them all, but... we have 6. One Monk, 2 Bard, 2 Rogue. Bard. And of course, if you're familiar with the original game, then the warrior is the warrior. You know, he's sword and board. Rogue is great with bows and arrows, and sorcerer is where you want to go for magic. The one with the best DPS. I mean, that all depends on the gear you find. Could be any of them. Depends what gear we get. Not familiar with Diablo? Diablo is a freaking classic. It's such a great game. Alright. Who hasn't voted yet? There's 5 out of 6 of you, so... seems the Bard is the most popular, so I guess we'll go with that. Alright, what should we call her? Now, they didn't quite get to finish the Bard and the Barbarian. They have all of their unique mechanics, but they use the models for the Rogue and the Warrior, respectively. But they have their own separate mechanics. Just call her Bard. Alright, that works. We'll start on normal. So this is the Bard in Hellfire. She starts out dual-wielding a sword and a dagger with the standard 2 potions and 100 gold pieces.
Can't a fellow drink in peace?
Town's normal, nothing's really changed. That we can turn down the game sound. Jog is great, lets us run while we're in town. So you got this nastiness growing out of the ground over here. Because we enabled the cow quest, we've added a new NPC over here, this weirdo in a cow costume called the Complete Nut.
Moo. I said moo. Look, I'm just a cow, okay? Me? I'm a self-made cow. Make something of yourself, and then we'll talk. Me? I'm a self-made cow. Make something of yourself, and then we'll talk.
So, there's nothing to do with that guy until we get to the caves. That's the spoiler alert. So the first 8 levels go exactly the same way. So at the moment, everything is just the same as it was in our original run, but for those of you who weren't here for it, we'll go visit everybody so you get a feel for town. I know Petey's...
Can't a fellow drink in peace?
Petey, at least, is totally unfamiliar with this game, so...
I know you got your own ideas, and I know you're not gonna believe this. But that weapon you got there, it just ain't no good against those big brutes. Oh, I don't care what Griswold says. They can't make anything like they used to in the old days.
You guys you happened to pick the, like, probably toughest class to play correctly. Not that I mind. But you have to kind of balance out raising dexterity and strength with her, because you need to be able to use good melee weapons, but she also has decent enough dexterity that you can raise that to boost armor.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Hit rate pretty well. Talk to Adria the Witch over here at the Witch's Hut.
Wisdom is earned, not given. If you discover a tome of knowledge, devour its words. Should you already have knowledge of the arcane mysteries scribed within a book, remember that level of mastery can always increase.
She's basically talking about raising spell levels there. Center of town, we have Griswold the blacksmith.
Oh, what can I do for you? The axe? Aye, that's a good weapon. Balanced against any foe. Look how it cleaves the air. And then, imagine a nice fat demon head in its path. Keep in mind, however, that it is slow to swing. But talk about dealing a heavy blow.
Cain the Elder.
Hello, my friend.
Stay a while and listen. If you've ever heard that phrase, Petey, this is the game it comes from.
Griswold, a man of great action and great courage. I bet he never told you about the time he went into the labyrinth to save Wirt, did he? He knows his fair share of the dangers to be found there. But then again, so do you. He is a skilled craftsman, and if he claims to be able to help you in any way, you can count on his honesty and his skill.
I can't believe this game is 23 years old now. 1996 seems like a lifetime ago.
What ails you, my friend?
Pepin the Healer. One nice quality of life improvement with the expansion is you don't have to click receive healing. Talking to the healer simply heals you when you're in town.
Poor Wirt. I did all that was possible for the child, but I know he despises that wooden peg that I was forced to attach to his leg. His wounds were hideous. No one, and especially such a young child, should have to suffer the way he did.
Jillian the barmaid is as useless as ever, but we'll talk to her anyway.
Good day. How may I serve you? My grandmother had a dream that you would come and talk to me. She has visions, you know, and can see into the future.
Awesome. Ogden the tavern owner, I almost skipped.
Thank goodness you returned. Much has changed since you lived here, my friend. All was peaceful until the Dark Riders came and destroyed our village. Many were cut down where they stood, and those who took up arms were slain or dragged away to become slaves, or worse. The church at the edge of town has been desecrated and is being used for dark rituals. The screams that echo in the night are inhuman, but some of our townsfolk may yet survive. Follow the path that lies between my tavern and the blacksmith's shop to find the church and save who you can. Perhaps I can tell you more if we speak again. Good luck.
Good news is we can save, because it's single player. Alright, we still need to talk to Wirt. He's up here.
Psst, over here. Not everyone in Tristram has a use or a market for everything you'll find in the labyrinth. Not even me, as hard as that is to believe. Sometimes only you will be able to find a purpose for some things.
Up here we go. There you go. Alright, we've talked to everyone. It's time to head to the church. Get started in earnest. Oh, the wounded townsman. Just kidding, we're gonna have more dialogue.
Please, listen to me. The Archbishop Lazarus. He led us down here to find the lost prince. The bastard led us into a trap. Now everyone is dead, killed by a demon he called the Butcher. Avenge us! Find this Butcher and slay him, so that our souls may finally rest.
Your death will be avenged.
So we've got our first quest, the Butcher. And we can actually talk to all the townspeople about the quests we receive, so we'll do that, and then we'll head into the church. Sorry if you were all hyped. We'll get there soon enough.
Psst, over here.
The Butcher.
I know more than you think about that grisly fiend. His little friends got a hold of me and managed to get my leg before Griswold pulled me out of that hole. I'll put it bluntly. Kill him before he kills you and adds your corpse to his collection.
Jillian?
Good day. When Farnham said something about a butcher killing people, I immediately discounted it. But since you brought it up, maybe it is true.
Oh, Ogden still just does that dialogue.
What ails you, my friend? By the light, I know of this vile demon. There were many that bore the scars of his wrath upon their bodies when the few survivors of the charge led by Lazarus crawled from the cathedral. I don't know what he used to slice open his victims, but it could not have been of this world. It left wounds festering with disease, and even I found them almost impossible to treat. Beware if you plan to battle this fiend.
Hello, my friend. It seems that the Archbishop Lazarus goaded many of the townsmen into venturing into the labyrinth to find the king's missing son. He played upon their fears and whipped them into a frenzied mob. None of them were prepared for what lay within the cold earth. Lazarus abandoned them down there, left in the clutches of unspeakable horrors to die.
Well, what can I do for you? I saw what Farnham calls the Butcher, as it swathed a path through the bodies of my friends. He swung a cleaver as large as an axe, hewing limbs and cutting down brave men where they stood. I was separated from the fray by a host of small screeching demons, and somehow found the stairway leading out. I never saw that hideous beast again, but his blood-stained visage haunts me to this day.
I remember the very first time I played this game. I was at a sleepover at a friend's house. I guess I was 11 years old.
And a fellow drinking peace? Big cleaver, killing all my friends. Couldn't stop him, had to run away. Couldn't save them. Trapped in a room with so many bodies, so many friends. No!
And it was just so totally different than anything else I'd ever played. Just so dark and spooky, and yet addictively fun, too.
I sense a soul in the Butcher is a sadistic creature that delights in the torture and pain of others. You have seen his handiwork in the drunkard Farnham. His destruction will do much to ensure the safety of this village.
All right, that's everybody's dialogue about our first quest. Now we're ready to head into the church and actually start playing.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
As always, with melee combat, it's a pretty good trick to stand in a doorway. Allows you to fight one enemy at a time. Alright. Got a cloak. 7 armor is definitely better than 0. Let's see what the shrine is. Well, first we'll kill 2 more scavengers. An Enchanted Shrine. That's a good one to save, because magic is not always what it seems to be. So what an Enchanted Shrine does is it drops the level of one spell you know by 1, and it raises the levels of all the others by 1. So we'll remember we have an Enchanted Shrine on level 1 and come back after we learn some spells. How long is the Diablo lore? Pretty long at this point. There's a lot of it, and there actually was a lot of it even when the game first came out. Like, there's a bunch of stuff in the manual that originally came with the game. Skeleton captains, plus a regular skeleton. Actually, I think the GOG version comes with the manual. Let me check. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. Assuming I have it, which I think I do. I'm really close to leveling up. That'll refill my health for free, so I'm trying not to use it. Let me see if I do have the manual. Let me fire up GOG Galaxy right quick. Just for my own edification. An update is available. Oh, sure. Go ahead and update it. Shouldn't take long. Of course, now it's just taking forever to actually pull up GOG Galaxy, but here we go. All right. Take me to Diablo. Backups and goodies. Here's the manual. I don't have it. I have to download it, but that was quick. I guess I have to. Here we go. Yeah, I have the Diablo Manual, and it's 40 pages long. The Initiate. Which way is the right path as I stand upon this chaotic crossroad of hate? How many ways are there to roam on this dark and damned road of fate? There are many ways, my son, to find where the souls of demons remain, but it takes only 1 second of despair and of doubt until at last your soul they will gain. Inherit these lands, these things, these dreams that are yours forever to adore. For there is no life in the depths of chaos, my son, for you to explore. See Vincent Metzen. Hey, Reaper, I'm doing pretty well. How are you? To try to find strength in righteousness is folly, for he seeks to topple those who have the farthest to fall. But I, in truth, have been once here before. That savage witch Ericte, she who called the shades back to their bodies, summoned me. My flesh had not been long stripped off when she had me descend through all the rings of hell, to draw a spirit back from the betrayer's circle. That is the deepest and the darkest place, the farthest from the heaven girds all. So rest assured I know the pathway all. Dante. Pierce me with steel, rend me with claw and fang. As I die, a legend is born for another generation to follow. Wisdom is earned, not given. Well, I'm curious about it now. A hero ventures forth from the world of common day into a region of supernatural wonder. Fabulous forces are there encountered, and a decisive victory is won. The hero comes back from this mysterious adventure with the power to bestow boons on his fellow man. Joseph Campbell. Might and magic are spokes on the same wheel. In lacking one, you lack both. Not even the sun can banish the phantoms of our land. Nevertheless, we huddle in the darkness and pray for dawn. Honor and courage are a warrior's right and left hands. The only future peace has to offer is war. I have seen the horrors that lie beneath the earth. I have felt the icy breath of darkness upon my skin, and have been gripped by the skeletal talons of death itself. What prayer can ever heal the bleeding marks of terror's embrace? A warrior's true strength lies not in the body, but in the spirit. I am not driven by hatred, I am not driven by fear, I am not driven by desire, duty, or any rationale. I could no longer feel any of these. All that remains is retribution, cold and hard and final. Gird thyself with the weapons of knowledge and the armor of wisdom. Victory is won as much through strength of mind and will as through brawn and steel. It is easy to go down into hell. Night and day the gates of dark death stand wide, but to climb back again, to retrace one's step to the upper air, there's the rub, the task. Virgil, the Aeneid. Break the bones and the body will heal. Break the spirit and the body will die. It is easier to stab someone in the back than it is to look them in the eyes. Society is built upon this principle, and it is universal amongst those who rule. The burning tongues of hell lap at our heels as we run, screaming from its horrible gaping maw. There can be no escape from the relentless beast of terror. He who fights with monsters might take care lest he thereby become a monster. Friedrich Nietzsche. Any master of battle should always take stock of his friends as well as his enemies, knowing both can in time be profitable. Let's see. So then there's lore about each of the characters. You can see the original three. We won't have anything about the new Hellfire characters, but you got the warrior, you got the rogue, you got the sorcerer. But he that hides a dark soul and foul thoughts benighted walks under the midday sun, himself is his own dungeon. John Milton. There's so much information about everything. Either slain thou shalt gain heaven, or conquering thou shalt enjoy the earth. Therefore arise, son of Kunti, unto battle, making a firm resolve, holding pleasure and gain alike, gain and loss, victory and defeat. Then gird thyself for battle, thus thou shalt not get evil. The Bhagavad Gita. To practice the arts is to be damned, to master them is to be victorious. When all magic fails, rely on 3 feet of steel and a strong arm. And then there's a bestiary, which tells you all about all of the different enemies. All things roll here, horrors of midnights, campaigns of a lost year, dungeons disturbed, and groves of lights echoing on these shores still clear, dead ecstasies of questing nights, yet how the wind revives us here. So it talks about the 3 brothers, the prime evils, Mephisto and his servants, which apparently include the skeletons. I am yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and I have the power to be born a second time. I am the divine hidden soul who created the gods and gives sepulchral meals to the denizens of the deep, the place of the dead in heaven. Hail, Lord of the shrine that stands in the center of the earth. He is I, and I am he. Egyptian Book of the Dead. So the servants of Mephisto, the lord of hatred, include skeletons and zombies and overlords and magma demons. Servants of Baal, the lord of destruction. So this all already existed in the first game. O Rose, thou art sick, the invisible worm that flies in the night in the howling storm has found out thy bed of crimson joy, and his dark secret love does thy life destroy. William Blake. Baal's servants, the fallen ones, the goat men, the spitting terrors, the horned demons. Strange and strident, it shrilled terror to the ears that heard it through the hall's side wall, the grisly plant of God's enemy, his song of ill success, the sobs of the damned one bewailing his pain, and the servants of Diablo, the lord of terror, winged fiends, scavengers, the hidden, gargoyle, librarius ex horadrum, Book 1 of Heaven and Hell, the fall of Isual. So they talk all about the great conflict, and the sin war, and the dark exile. All seven of the evils are named here. The Duriel, Andariel, Belial, Asmodan, Mephisto, Baal, and Diablo, which they continue to circle back in all 3 games. So basically, heaven and hell exist. The great conflict is the fight between heaven and hell, which exists. The realm of man, when the great conflict descends there, they call it the Sin War. I'm skipping a lot of the lore. The 4 lesser evils, Duriel, Andariel, Belial, and Asmodan, managed to banish the 3 prime evils, Mephisto, Baal, and Diablo, into the world of man. The binding of the 3 is when an order of monks called the Horadrim managed to trap all 3 of the prime evils in soul stones. Diablo, the Lord of Terror's soul stone, is buried under a monastery near the village of Tristram in the land of Condurus. Diablo initially made contact with the Archbishop Lazarus, who was the advisor, I guess, to the king Leoric. Diablo attempted to possess Leoric and failed, but Leoric was driven insane. Ultimately, Prince Albrecht was kidnapped by Lazarus and led down into the labyrinth and became the mortal host of Diablo instead. The king, in his full madness, was killed by the captain of his knights, a person named Lochdanan, and with Diablo, the Lord of Terror, in possession of a mortal vessel, Prince Albrecht, he began to spawn demons out of the child's nightmares, and that's kind of where the game picks up with our character showing up in Tristram. And with that, I think that's enough of a primer to actually jump back into the game. So we're venturing into the dungeon, ultimately in search of Prince Albrecht. Alright, so there's my first level up. Very good. My to hit sucks, my armor sucks, so I'm gonna raise dexterity first. Raise dex early and often. It is a god tier stat in Diablo 1. And to answer that question, PD, no, it has nothing to do with Dungeons & Dragons. Borrows some of the nomenclature in terms of things like strength and dexterity and what have you, but it's really its own system. But it directly reports like your armor class, your hit percentage, your damage, your resistances, your life, your mana, all that jazz. Alright, let's get back to work. I want to get back out to town and get my cloak repaired before it gets destroyed. Durability is already down to 1 out of 18. And now we can also see what Ogden has to say about the Butcher, because he should be done with his intro dialogue.
Greetings, good master. Welcome to the tavern of... Yes, Farnham has mumbled something about a hulking brute who wielded a fierce weapon. I believe he called him a butcher.
Alright. I'm going to hold on to that bow.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
I will probably ultimately use it to kill the Butcher. Actually, not a whole lot to do. I just wanted to get that cloak
What
repaired.
ails you, my friend?
I guess the other thing I'll do is... I do have enough gold. I will sell that potion of mana and buy a scroll of town portal. That way the next time I need to go to town, I won't have to walk.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
I think I will off-screen the item hunt in Earthbound. I think I'm reaching that as a sensible conclusion. So we'll get back to Earthbound once off-screen I manage to find the broken antenna and we're ready to advance. How does that sound? There's our path down to level 2. We're obviously not going to go there until level 1 is clear. Anyway, I highly recommend, if you're even a little bit interested, going and downloading the Diablo Manual and reading the lore on all the different demons and the character classes and that history at the end, the detailed version. It's kind of crazy how much of the lore they had already developed for just this first game. And it obviously created quite the well for them to draw from going into future games. Oh, and I should also mention that, much like the monk, when the bard is dual-wielding, she can target 3 squares at once. Ooh, a magic short bow. Which ends up being extremely useful in the lower levels, especially when you can't isolate enemies and fight them one at a time anymore. Well, the simple answer to that, Antares, is in case I die, I don't have to get set back nearly as far. And this game saving only takes a second. This game is reliant enough on RNG that oftentimes a reload is all it takes in the event you do die. Here, fuckers. The real test is how often you reload, if you ask me. Let's put that cap on. 3 armor is definitely better than none. Now, blacksmith oil is an interesting contrivance. You can use it to repair something for free, but I like to wait until stuff is at full repair, because if you use a blacksmith oil on an item that's fully repaired, it actually raises the max durability, which I think is a far better use of the oil. So you just pay Griswold the gold for repairs. Zombies hit hard enough, I'd better use one of my potions. Alright. I think this room is clear. We almost made it to a level up, but the zombies are too dangerous. In our newbie, fragile state. I know a lot of you were here when I did the warrior playthrough of not Hellfire Diablo 1, but one thing about the fallen ones is that when they see you kill another monster, they run away for a while. It's pretty great. They should almost never be a priority target because they're not dangerous. They will leave the second you manage to kill something else. So if you're fighting fallen ones plus other monster, pretty much always better to kill the other monster. There's another blacksmith oil, and here's another new Hellfire item, runes, which set traps. I can set a fire trap with that, which is going to be handy. This cap has 3 armor, but somewhat better current durability, which is a good enough reason to sub it out. Hit this room. There's a dagger. No better than the one we already have. No point in swapping out. At this point, we need to go to town for healing purposes. Let's do that. Yeah, Diablo 2, as eager as Blizzard was to disown the expansion, Diablo 2 borrowed a lot of synergistics ideas from Hellfire, like a lot. How much gold do I have? 242. All right.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Oh, it's a cursed bow.
Whoa,
Damn it.
what can I do for you?
I don't actually have enough gold. Alright, so what's got the lowest durability? My sword. For sure, so I'm going to use the blacksmith oils to boost its durability. I'm going to sell the mana potions and the rune, and hopefully that'll give me enough gold to at least afford another scroll of town portal. I'll just have to be very careful, like, to not need healing. I don't have any
I
potions.
sense a soul in search of answers.
I'm 1 gold off, are you serious? Alright, well, since I can't afford another portal scroll, I guess I will buy potions instead.
What ails you, my friend?
I can afford 3 potions of healing, which is a good investment at this point. And we will dive back in. Hi, James. Welcome back. Good to have you, my friend. Alright. Let's get back to killing. Come here, you little bastard. There we go. In we go. We can do the doorway trick here. It's always a good move when it's available. Especially if you have a melee character with shitty armor and no block ability like the Bard. Oil of Sharpness. Now that's a fun one. Increases a weapon's damage potential. So we got 1 to 5, 1 to 4. I think it's smarter to use it on our weaker weapon. So we boosted the max damage of the dagger by 1. It's now 1 to 5. It's worth remembering the base damage of your weapons, though, without oils, because oils only last for the duration of the game you're in. So, like, if I finish this normal difficulty run and start a new nightmare run, any effect on my gear that was created by one of the oils will disappear, and it will be back to its base stats. So, if you find a weapon with better base stats, you generally want to sub that in, even if you have sunk some oils into a weapon or piece of armor in order to improve it, because those effects disappear when you move the character into a new game. Oh, money, on the contrary, money is a huge issue. Why would you say it's not? Once you get to a high enough level for the blacksmith to stock good items, unlike a lot of these games, at least in terms of the weapon everybody wants, shopping at the blacksmith is by far the best way to get it. Oil of Accuracy increases the to-hit chance. We can do that with either one. I'm going to do it with the sword, because I think we're likely to hold on to the sword longer. As you can see, our to-hit has been boosted by applying that oil. Very good. Onward. Potion full healing. Try and save that for later when we're in more dangerous territory. Is this enough money for me to get by? Oh, heck no. I can't buy anything good with 150 gold. I can't even afford a scroll of town portal. I need 200 for that. Short sword. That does 2 to 6 damage, which is better than all of our starting gear. So I'm going to sub that in for the sword, which was 1 to 5. And sub the sword in for the dagger, which was, remember, base only 1 to 4. And there's a blacksmith oil. Save it and use it on the sword after my next trip to town to get repairs. Alrighty. Keep exploring level 1. Oh, come here, assholes. Cape. Armor 2, armor 7. No, thank you. Stick with the cloak. Buckler. Useless. We want our bard to dual wield. Because that's... We're not seeing much of it right now, but that 3 square effect is incredibly useful, and it only works if we're dual wielding. Saber. 1 to 8. And that's sufficient to retire both of our initial weapons, which is good. Let's boost Dex again. And check the skeleton tome. It's a scroll of healing. Level 4. Alright. Levels come fast and easy in the beginning. Much harder to come by later. Looks like that's it for level 1, doesn't it? I believe we have it cleared out. Let's bounce back to town. Just so I can get a portal scroll, because, yeah, I've got enough gold now. Got some gear to sell off, too. Won't get me a lot of money, but it'll get me some. There's a potion of healing. At full health. Nice.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while
I think
and
I have
listen.
anything to identify, so just give it
Whoa,
a grizz.
what can I do for you?
Alright. 45, 18, 15, 24. Boosted on the cap. The enemies do not respawn until I start a new game. Level 1 in this game will stay empty.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Sell her the mana potions, and we can buy a scroll of town portal, which is what I wanted. Ironclad, 13 months. That is utter insanity. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate the sub. I appreciate the viewership. It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you. All right. We are just about ready to head down to level 2, where, as you would expect, things are going to get a little tougher. Before I do that, let me take a little break, go visit the wife, check on the dogs, all that jazz. I may need to end pretty soon on this second chunk of the stream, but we'll see. I'll be right back. Alright, fam, we're going to go for one more hour. Let's take our bard down to level 2. Healing potion. Good shit. This is just more zombies. Can handle that, surely. And more scavengers. Can handle that too. It's a pretty level 2 beast, pretty easy level 2 bestiary, but I worry that's going to leave me under-leveled for level 3. Yeah, Hellfire also adds some new spells. Book of Firebolt. She starts with sufficient magic to go ahead and learn, which is pretty awesome. Once I learn the healing spell, I'm going to here we go. Archers. Gotta love that. Kill these burning dead at the door. Grab that quilted armor. I'm actually going to retreat and put that on because it's almost definitely better than the cloak we're wearing. Yeah. Armor 8, 30 durability. I'll get in here and deal with these archers. So a moment like this, that ability to attack 3 squares gets really useful. Scroll of Identify. Hold on to that. I don't have anything to identify at the moment. And another Book of Firebolt. Got that Joker at level 2. Why not? Depending on how many of those burning dead are down here, level 2 is going to be just fine. They're tough, but killable, and they're pretty strong for level 2, so that'll give us around the upper end of the monster strength that's capable of spawning, so... Shadow Bite! Our first boss! Kill him and all his little minions. He dropped a magical saber and an oil of accuracy. I bet we will use that oil of accuracy. Let's identify that magic saber. Make sure it's good. Fine Saber of Craftsmanship. That's really good. To hit, plus 9%, 48% damage, and high durability. Excellent. I think we'll use that for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and stick the oil of accuracy on it too. That was a pretty fucking good drop for level 2. Thanks, Shadowbite. Dagger. No thank you. Potion of healing. Yes, please. Am I replaying Diablo 1? No, this isn't a replay. They released the expansion on GOG, so this is... You might call it a continuation. Because, A, I never finished Diablo 1. It was in the backlog. And B, they just released the expansion. So we have the 3 new characters to try, one of which is this bard that we're giving a whirl right now. So you can see what a difference even that relatively small weapon upgrade has made in our ability to hit and damage these burning dead. And that's what's so fun about these games, just the equipment and level progression feedback. Feeling yourself getting stronger and stronger gets addictive. That is a rune of lightning, which sets a lightning trap. Go ahead and boost Dex again. Dex is God tier in Diablo 1 because it raises your hit percentage and your armor class. If you're playing a rogue, it's even more ridiculous because it also raises your bow damage. Crimson and Azure become as the sun. Ah, yes, the Eldritch Shrine turns all of your healing and mana potions into potions of rejuvenation, which restores life and mana, which is pretty great. Onward. There's a staircase down to level 3. We're definitely not doing that yet. A robe. Armor 6. That's a downgrade. No, thank you. We will sell it, though. One hard-learned lesson that you'll relearn quickly if you've forgotten it. Don't fuck around with shit like barrels and chests when there are monsters actively attacking you. Kill bad guys first. Go for treasure second. So see here, when we're in the center of a room, like going after archers and a bunch of bad guys come at us at once, that ability to hit multiple squares at once that they added to these new classes in Hellfire, like you can really start to see how truly handy that is.
I have no room. I have no room.
Soul pus. We need to go loot that corner of the room with all that stuff we couldn't pick up, didn't have room to pick up, but I don't want to leave living monsters behind me either. Alright, scroll to town portal. Let's go. He dropped a hunter's bow, which is definitely more interested in selling than anything else. Alright. Let's go. I'm not interested in selling it. I'm actually probably interested in using it against the butcher. When I find him.
What ails you, my friend?
Let's identify
Hello,
that bow.
friend. Stay a while and listen.
Bow of Might, +9 to Strength.
Well, what can I do for you?
We will keep that Bow of Might for now. Prepare all of our other gear. Go sell all this shit, buy another portal scroll, and we'll be set.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Oh, and buy
I sense a soul
a
in
scroll
search
town
of
portal.
answers.
Don't forget that. Alright. Right, back down we go. We got a short bow, we got rags, we got a staff. Now I can finally duck back down here where all that started and clear out the barrels and chests and sarcophagi and everything else I had to leave behind. Starting with that chest, which was apparently trapped. Oh, scroll of town portal. Did she not pick it up? No, there we go. Freebie, that's good. There's an unenchanted hunter's bow. And we got more archers in here. Let's go fuck them up. Yay, level up. More decks. More decks. Excellent. I'll tell you what I think I'm actually going to do is... Well, I guess we'll see what time it is, but I'm thinking we'll finish level 2, including killing the butcher. And we'll call this a stream then. Because we started it a while ago, obviously. I think I was first playing it on St. Patrick's Day, or close to it, so that's like 3 months ago. So it's in the backlog, but Diablo, if you really want to, you know, finish off the whole cast of characters, it's a big project. This will be a well we can draw from for side streams for some time, which is pretty cool. I'm happy about that. I really like playing this game. It's a great little backup to have when we're fed up with things like the RNG and Earthbound not going our way.
Now,
Holy
where would I
balls.
put this?
Alright. Time for another offload. I do love her ability to hit 3
What
at
ails
once.
you, my friend?
Hello, my friend. Stay
She's
a while.
a little
and
bit
listen.
fragile.
Well, what can I do for you?
Which is kind of the shortcoming of not being able to use a shield, but certainly has some offensive power to make up for it. So we already have a Scroll of Town portal in reserve. We don't have to buy a new one, which is aces.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
In we go. Go ahead and learn Holy Bolt. Why not? If we fight B, if we have the Curse of King Leoric, which I'm assuming we will, that will come in handy. Could come in handy anyway. Let them come to the door. Yes, Diablo 1 is still easily my highest viewer count. Rot Feast of the Hungry. Another boss monster. He dropped a spell book. Holy Bolt. Don't have high enough magic to get that to level 2. I did not want to open that fucking door. Holy shit. Back up. Fuck did that happen? Close it. We need to clear the minions first. Come on now. Use your head, gal. That's very obviously where the freaking butcher is. Alright. We're going to identify that axe. Axe of Light. Pretty useless. As we're going to save the butcher for last, let's clear the rest of the level first. Anything undamaged? At this point, I would still use it on the cap. We'll wait until it's fully repaired. Alright, we're almost done. You can see these walls are see-through, which is actually perfect for fighting the Butcher. Generally, you have two options for dealing with the Butcher. You're definitely too weak to take him on most of the time when you're actually on level 2 on your first run. So you can either go deeper into the dungeon, level up some more, and then come back up and deal with him, or you can equip a ranged weapon and cheese him to kill him on your first pass, which is what I'm going to do. So let's draw him out of his room.
Fresh meat.
And he'll follow us along. I cannot tell you how utterly terrifying this was to 11-year-old me when we first played this game. Oh, fuck off. That was terrible pathfinding.
Fresh meat.
Stupid girl. Come on. Go ahead and pull him out. But don't freaking backtrack towards him. You need to get through here and shut the door behind us. Ready? You dumb hoe. Come on now. Alright, come on. It's very simple. Get through. Shut it behind you. I said get through. Shut it behind you. There. Alright. Now we've got him on the other side of this gate. We can shoot him down at our leisure. Yeah, that is nice, isn't it? Not having to buy arrows. It's a pain in the ass. All it was in Diablo 2 was this little extra hassle, pain in the ass kind of step.
The spirits of the dead are now avenged.
So you can see this guy has ass loads of health. He would have torn us up if we tried to go ahead and straight fight him in melee. Okay. I think this is a pretty good time to end the stream, so let's make one more town run and call it good. Good call getting back to Diablo 1. That was fun. So I am going to off-screen the 1 in 128 item hunts in Earthbound.
What ails you, my friend?
I showed you all of one.
my friend. Stay a while
Identify
and
the
listen.
Butcher's Cleaver, which we're not going to use. It functions as an axe. It's two-handed, plus 10 to strength, unusual item damage. What that means is if anything is wearing armor, it tears through it. It has altered durability, only 10 out of 10. So if you happen to be an axe user, it's not a terrible early game weapon, but otherwise it is. So that's the reason we were holding on to that Bow of Might, so we can sell that now. We repair everything we are using. Suddenly we have some gold to throw around. A Book of Charged Bolt. Leave that here. So let me look at everything I have. And raise the max durability on my cat again.
What can I do for you?
Let me see if Griswold has any serious upgrades that I can afford with 3,000 gold. The answer is no. Alright. That's fine. Kind of expected this early on. We're only, what, level 6? Yeah, the Butcher's dead. The Cleaver is your reward for that
I
quest.
sense a soul in search of answers.
Sell mana potions. I don't have any spells I'm using yet. Buy a portal scroll. Stick it in the spot in the inventory I like. head down, and we are going to leave our bard at the entrance to level 3 because I need to head downstairs because I actually have some work to do tonight. So, to those of you who joined me live on Twitch, thank you so much for being here. If you're new and you enjoy what you're seeing, I hope you will hit the follow button so that you can see every time we go live in the future. If you're watching later on YouTube, if you enjoyed the content, please like the video, and I know it can be hard to make streams, so also please subscribe to the channel. If you do that, you won't miss anything I put up. Everything makes its way over there. Finally, regardless of the platform you're on, I hope you will join our Discord. The link to do so is in the Twitch channel description and or the YouTube video description. The Discord is where I make official channel announcements. It's where we discuss what you'd like to see me play, and it's where there's a fun and growing community of people who love video games just like you and me. No stream tomorrow. Next one will be more Fallout on Monday night. We are really hurtling towards the end of that game, and so I hope to see you all there. See you soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.